Hello everyone, this is Palkshta Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today I'm going to show you how to make a hood with a bow. Such hoods are very convenient. You can put a hood on, and you can also take it off and tie a bow beautifully. It will also look very interesting. First you need to measure the height of the hood. Measure it from the head top to the neck base. The hood shouldn't be too tight. Anyway, I need to make sure that I'm not making it too small, so I need to measure its height this way, and that adds some for the ease. In my case, the height of the hood is 80 centimeters. That means that one half of this measurement is 40 centimeters. For the hood not to be too tight, I'll make it 45 centimeters high. Such hood will be very comfortable. Let's start working. First I need to measure and mark 50 centimeters from the selvage. The hood will be 45 centimeters high, so I'm making it a bit longer than needed. I really hope that you will be working with tracing paper first. Next I need to draw a straight line 10 centimeters away from the edge. The hood will look so cool. I'm drawing an absolutely straight line. I drew the two lines, 50 centimeters and 10 centimeters away from the edges. I need to mark the center front in the point where the two lines cross. Notice that I drew the center front here. Put the center front right in the point where the two lines cross, and then outline the front neckline. Do not forget to mark the shoulder seam. Be very attentive. This is the center front. Be very attentive. This is not the edge of the detail, it's the center front. I outlined the front neckline. I marked the shoulder seam. Next, I need to outline the back neckline. Draw a straight line to the left from this point. I remind you that I outlined the back neckline. It should be not straight, but slightly round. Next, I need to draw a short straight line up from this point. These lines copy the front and the back necklines. I also need to add about 2.5 centimeters for a dart here. This line copies the front neckline, and this one the back neckline. I made it slightly round and added some for the dot opening. Next I need to draw a straight line up from this point. I need to draw a dart here. It should be about 9 centimeters high and 2.5 centimeters wide. Have a look here. The center front, the shoulder seam, the back neckline, and the dot opening. When it's closed, this part will be even to the back neckline. Next, I need to measure and mark 45 centimeters up from the center front. This is the time for you to use your imagination. This is how my hood is going to look like. You can make it of any shape you like. Next we need to draw a bow. I need to measure and mark 5.5 centimeters on each side of the center front. This straight line marks the center of the bow. Next I need to measure and mark the length of the bow down from this point. Make it as long as you want. Mine will be 70 centimeters long. Next I need to draw a bias angle here. The width of the bow on the bottom should be 10 centimeters. I'm drawing these details by side. I'll alter them later. The bottom of the bow should be 10 centimeters wide. I need to connect these 2 points. Next, I need to draw a straight line up from this point. It should be parallel to this one. I'll show you what we need it for. The center front line marks the edge of the hood. These parts will serve as a facing for the hood and the second layer for the bow. So basically, this part should copy the original one. I'll show you everything. I hope that everything is clear so far. I decided to outline the details for you to see everything clearly. I remind you that this was the first line I drew. I used it for drawing the bow. The detail on the other side mirrors this one. I remind you that this is the center front. This is where the hood will be inserted. I hope that everything is clear so far. I measured and marked 45 centimeters here, outlined the front neckline, and then the back neckline. I added some for the dot opening and drew it here. I drew this part of the hood by side. I will have to make a spacing seam here in the both details. It will take me some time to do it. You can make a bow of any length you want. Do not forget to make a notch on the shoulder seam. I also need to make a notch here. What do I need to do next? I need to trace the dart and the center front to the second detail. After that, I'll tack the dart and make spacing seams on the center front. When I do it, I'll tack the hood and insert it in the coat. As I can see, you like it when I show you how to make outer clothes. The thing is that it's what I'm really good at. It's a pleasure for me to show it to you. Next, I need to trace the dart and tack it. I also need to draw a fold line. Have a look here. I remind you that this is the center front. The thing is that the hood won't be inserted in the center front. This is where it will end. This is the point which matches the center front. I can start taking now. I'm making a spacing seam on the center front. There will be a fold here. I've already showed you how to make hoods. This one is absolutely different. As I've already said, there are a lot of different types of hoods. I think that I'll show you some of them.
Ну, думаю, что потихоньку, так по одному что-то мы будем проходить.
I'm not a hood type of person. Anyway, I do have a coat with a hood, and I'm glad that I do. It helps me when the weather is really bad.
Потому что была ужасная непогода.
What I also want to say is that if we do wear garments with hoods, the hood should be beautiful. I need to tack the dart. Next, I need to tack the two sides of the hood to each other. These details should be inserted in the center back. Next, I need to tack the fold on the center front. I don't need to measure or calculate anything. I remind you that I drew and cut these details by sight. I'll alter the details when they're tacked. It's not hard to do it. Watch what I'm doing and follow the order of actions. Do everything just like I show you. To be honest, I'm tired of taking. This is the center front. It's also the center of the hood. I remind you that I'm making just a mock-up. The seam should be ironed, steamed, all the extra details should be cut. You know how to do it. I'm just showing you the technique. The bow is almost ready. Next, I'll insert the hood in the coat. The more accurate you are when drawing, cutting, and taking, the easier for you it will be to work further. That's it. I can tack the hood to the coat. Have a look here. This is the neckline. I need to attach the hood here. First, I need to tack the center back to the center back. Next, I need to pin the notches on the shoulder seams. This edge should match the center front. It's okay if it doesn't. In our case, it does. Have a look here. The edge of the bow should match the center front. We'll start taking from this point. The technique I'm showing you now is very useful. This is how the seam looks like from the wrong side. And this is how it looks like from the right side.
Вот наш капюшон,
I
переходящий
remind
в
you
бант.
that this is
А
the hood
сейчас
which turns
возьму на
into
себя
the
и
bow.
покажу. Перед нами капюшон с бантом, который я вам обещала.
Have a look
Смотрите,
at me.
от центра
I put
переда
the
до
tacked
центра
hood
переда мы
on.
мерили высоту
I
головы,
remind
у
you
нас
that I
было
measured the height of the
80
hood.
сантиметров,
It
то
was
есть
80
направление 40, а мы
centimeters,
взяли 45.
but I
Ну,
made it
чтобы
90
капюшон не
centimeters
был у меня
high.
вот так прямо.
I didn't want the
Вот
hood to
он
be
так
too
красиво
tight.
от меня отходил. Здесь можно шарфик
It looks very
придержать.
beautiful now.
Смотрите, какой аккуратненький получился капюшончик, славненький. Вот наш бант. Его
I
можно
love how
завязывать
it looks
прямо
like.
бантом.
The bow is also pretty cool.
Я сейчас не могу, как я не перед
You can
зеркалом.
make an actual bow
Ну,
here if you want.
возможно, завязывать его бантом.
You can make it look
Смотря
beautiful.
какая ткань будет.
It's hard to do it
Смотрите, вот
without
он
a
у вас
mirror.
завязан.
I can
А вы
also
вот так
tie the
его
bow and take the
опустили
hood
у вас
off.
там сзади. Сзади
Very
вот так
beautiful.
завязан. Посмотрите, как
Ladies,
красиво.
I want us to be different
Я
and
же вас
beautiful
призываю
in
быть
any weather.
разнообразными и неотразимыми
If we have to wear
в любых
hoods,
вариантах.
the hood
Если
should be
уже даже на
beautiful.
улице непогода, а мы вынуждены
That's all for
выходить в
today.
капюшоне,
My
то
name is
капюшон
Paukšte Irina.
будет красивым.
Subscribe
Я
to my
вот за
channel,
это.
write comments,
Всего
share
хорошего. С вами
videos,
были
press the like and the
Paukšte
bell
Irina
buttons.
Михайловна и вся
Thank
наша
you.
команда.
Goodbye.